missing out. You're 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 missing out. I just got off. I'm waiting on a friend to scoop me up. Oh, tell her cold out. But I had to get away to call you up. I just got back from LA. Yes, I plan to move. And I know that's what they all say, but I'ma be someone to know soon. Come fuck with me. I ain't got no plans for the weekend. Don't know what you was thinking, but I don't got no drinks for drinking. I got some weed for smoking, and I got some songs for listening. No, I don't got work in the morning. Shit, you don't know what you're missing. Missing out, missing out, missing out, missing out, missing out, oh, missing out, missing out, missing out, missing out. I just got off. My friend is taking longer than I thought. I'm sitting in a Starbucks. It was getting late and too cold out. Damn, my feet are getting tired. I ain't trying to move. I'll call you back on Saturday, but I think I'ma go to bed soon. Come fuck with me. I ain't got no plans for the weekend. Don't know what you was thinking, but I don't got no drinks for drinking. I got some weed for smoking, and I got some songs for listening. No, I don't got work in the morning. Shit, you don't know what you're missing. Missing out, 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 missing out. I just got off.
I hope y'all enjoyed that little tune. Yes, it was real smooth, right? We're back. I hope you guys are ready for a little bit more of low love in this love language conversation we got going on up in here. Yes, y'all. I don't know if y'all saw the picture I posted for you guys to log in, but I got my wine, honey, and it is a lituation, okay? All right, so to jump back into it, I wanted to talk about why knowing your love language is important. And just from a couple articles that I read, the main thing that they want people to understand is that the euphoric in love experience is temporary. So you know that whole moment when you decide you're in love with somebody and the sparks are flying and everything is just, oh my goodness, this is the best feeling in the world. It's temporary, okay? And the only way that you stay in love is for you to learn how to love your partner and how to communicate with them and keep them happy. So that's why identifying your love language is so important, so that you can communicate that to your partner and they can understand how you want to be loved. Longevity is what we're looking for here. And the key to longevity is loving your partner in the way that they need to be loved. And again, this goes for friendships as well, any relationship in your life. The key to a long-lasting friendship is to understand how your friend likes to be appreciated, how they like to know that they are loved and, you know, that you're not taking them for granted. So understanding how someone needs to be loved builds longevity. And though, again, all 5 of the love languages you might feel like you can identify with, there is a primary one that you identify with. So I do highly recommend taking the quiz online to figure out what your love language is. And drum roll, brrr, mine is quality time. This is no surprise to anybody who really knows me and talks to me on a daily. I really love spending time with the people that I love. And why quality time is such a big deal to me is because I spend a lot of my time at work, and I have conversations with my friends and my family and my loved ones daily, but I don't get to see them enough. So especially if I'm in a relationship, oh my goodness, like just seeing my other half, sometimes it's just like breathing air. Like it's just a great feeling for me. So yes, love language is quality time. I love to just be in the presence of my boo and my family and my child. And then my secondary was actually physical touch, which again, if you know me, yeah, I like to be touched. Now, necessarily, I'm not a big hugger. My family aren't big huggers. They're not big kissers either. But when it comes to relationships, even though I wasn't raised to be a PDA touchy-feely type person, yeah, I like to be touched a lot in a relationship. And I'm sure a lot of people can identify with that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into some of the responses that I got. So on Facebook, and you guys, I really appreciate y'all for responding to my posts. You know, keeps the show moving and going. Hey. So Lacey said her first love language is words of affirmation. It definitely helps to know because, and mind you, they're telling me their their love language and why it's important to know. It definitely helps to know because you can properly articulate to your partner or even friend how you like to be loved and how you give love. One of the main reasons some relationships get messed up, in my opinion, is that people's love languages aren't being met. And your partner is loving you in their language, but you don't appreciate it because you don't really value it. Girl, you better preach. Woo, child. But yeah, Lacey made some great points and kind of piggybacking off of, everything I've kind of said. But I really do like the part where she was saying that people love languages aren't being met because they are basically projecting their love language onto you. So, sometimes people can say, well, I like to be loved by gifts, and they're trying to shower you with gifts when that's not really your love language. Your love language might be words of affirmation. So they're giving you all these gifts and they're like, baby, I just want you to tell me you love me. That's it. So, definitely dig into what your spouse's or your other half love language is and love them in that way and not the way that you want to be loved. But communicate the way you want to be loved as well. Okay, I got a couple people jumping in the comment box. My boy KJ said, I guess yours. I think my phone cut off. Oh, man, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people could guess mine. It's kind of obvious, honestly. All right, so back to the comments. Courtney Armstrong, she said, mine is quality time. However, it has not always been. We're going to talk about that. Previously, mine was words of affirmation. During a former relationship, the guy I was dating was great about spending a lot of time with me, and he made me grow to a place where spending time with others was essential for me. And yes, it absolutely does matter because when someone does not feed your love language, it can seem like they are speaking a hate language, oftentimes unbeknownst to them. Just my 2 cents. Girl, that was a whole $1. What you mean? That was more than 2 cents. Okay. But yes, she made a great point. So your primary love language can change as you mature and grow into someone else. So, whereas before you probably liked physical touch, you're like, well, okay, yeah, I like you touch me, hug me, kiss me, please me, and all that stuff. But you don't really say it enough. So then words of affirmation becomes your love language. So that's a good point, Courtney. Thanks for pointing that out. One of my former teachers, Ms. Davis, she said her primary love language is words of affirmation and then quality time. And she said ditto to what everybody else was saying as to why it's important. So that's different. A lot of people aren't words of affirmation. So that's cool to see someone is. My cousin commented and said all of them. Kira, you a mess. My other cousin, Carrie, commented and said money. Now, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. My girl like to stunt, and she like to have her kids stunt. And so I can understand gifts and money could definitely be hers. And the wonderful Miss Tiffany Brown said quality time, and it's super helpful. My fiance's is gifts, so knowing that and putting into action is awesome. Now, I completely agree with that. Like I said before, once you know yours and you know your other half's love languages, when you start loving each other in the way that you know they want to be loved, it definitely can just turn the relationship into something so beautiful because you both are being fed on a whole nother level. You're getting that fulfillment that you've always wanted and that you need. So it's definitely super, super important, worth digging into. So I had a couple of my fellas to give me their love languages. My boy T, as he said, physical touch. Another one of my homeboys, Ed, said the same thing, physical touch. So, I think a lot of guys might be physical touch. I don't know. But then again, men are physical creatures, I like to think by me hanging around a lot of males and growing up around a lot of males, I kind of understand the male brain a little bit more than I should, which is why physical touch is like my second. But Ed made a good point. He said, yeah, I'm a very touchy guy. When I stop touching on you and rubbing on you, it's a problem. And that's a good way to put it. When you have a certain love language and that love language isn't really, you're not getting that feeling, or sometimes people like to use their love language to love, even though we say, make sure you find out your partner's love language. When they stop doing that, that should be a sign that, okay, something's not right. So, again, just make sure you have these conversations with your other half, with your best friends and stuff like that. Having discussions about your love language eliminates the whole, I've done everything I can to make you happy, but nothing is working problem. Because what you're doing is you're letting them know, I want to know how you want to be loved. I've tried everything that I could think of, but I want you to give me your feedback on how you want to be loved so that I can love you. Being in a relationship is more than just butterflies and banging and all that other stuff. It's about trying to build something and making sure that that person's needs are taken care of. All right, T slid back in the comments and he said, not all in the physical, just period. Holding hands, PDAs, foot rubs, etc. And ditto to what Ed said. So yeah, I feel you. And that's what I was saying, physical touch isn't all about getting into it. It's about touching and agreeing and just, letting them know, hey, I'm here. Let me put my hand on your back real quick, And he said, once the dude feels unappreciated, we out mentally and physically. Hey, women like that too. You heard R. Kelly, when a woman's fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it. I should have had that on here. But anyway, this has been fun. If you haven't taken the quiz, please go online and take the quiz. Because honestly, shockingly, you might think your love language is one thing, but it could be a whole nother one. Or your primary could be what you thought your secondary was. Honestly, I thought my primary probably would have been physical touch because they're kind of neck and neck to me, but Turns out it was quality time. And it's like, you know what? You're right.